Hello, so today I am trying to redo this old table that has a lot of rust. You can use Rust-Oleum, navel jelly, rust remover, and sandpaper. Different grits. They come in different types of textures. Over here the paint has worn off, so we're just going to sand it. And then I'll repaint it. And then I will put polyethylene spray or a clear protective spray over that. So I have some iron out in here with some steel wool for these big pieces to get the rust out. Now what I really like to use is a pumice stone that you can get online that I clean ovens with to sand these down level, because sometimes sandpaper, it just doesn't do the trick. But right now I just want to get the rust out of the metal, so I'm using iron out and steel wool. So you have a variety of things to redo metal with. Definitely steel wool, sandpaper. You can use chemical rust removers. I'm using the iron out. I tried the vinegar. I'm not going to waste my time with that. It's just not strong enough. And I'm just going to let this set for a few minutes. And I put the iron out in here with just a little water because it's a powder form. Iron out is something you use cleaning bathtubs, sinks, even in your laundry. I would never put it in my laundry because it may stay in the machine. And let's that set for a while. Now I'm taking a fine piece of sandpaper and I'm going to sand it down again. This is after I use the iron out and steel wool. And I don't see any rust on it right there. I see the bare metal. So the iron out works good. You can get it at, your home supply stores, in the laundry department. I just want to get rid of the rust. Technically, you should put a primer over this, and then you put the color, and then a clear coat over that. Preferably a Rust-Oleum type product. So now I'm going to use a primer on the edge here. I'm using a blue primer because I will paint this blue. It is dry. It is sanded down. The rust has been removed. And I'll probably need another coat. I'm just working with leftover paints that I have in the cellar. But if you like black and gold or green and gold or brass and copper, those are fine. I'm just being very frugal with what I have. And if you find something like this table or these chairs out in the trash, pick it up. sand it down, remove the rust, repaint them. The most expensive thing isn't the sandpaper, because you can get that at the Dollar Tree. Same with the steel wool. The most expensive is the Rust-Oleum paint that you use and the polyethylene clear coat. And you don't need a whole can for a little table and 2 chairs. So I'm almost done priming the ridge of this table after I descaled it with iron out and steel wool and some sandpaper. It's nice to paint with a foam brush, but this is going to be sprayed over with a Rust-Oleum spray, so it doesn't matter, because when the paint dries you won't see the brush strokes. Now for deep peelings, let's say here, you can use Bondex, which is what people use for car refinishing on their cars. They fill it in with Bondex to lift up the layers so you don't have pits and grooves. This is an outdoor table that I found in the garbage, and there's no shame in seeing something on someone's curbside. You get some dollar store sandpaper and steel wool, go to Home Depot or a home store to get iron out, and I get the brushes, the foam brushes at the Dollar Tree, but brushes, you want real hair from Home Depot or Lowe's or wherever store you go to, True Value, Value Home Center. When this dries, I'm going to spray it with my color, and I will tape it off or put cardboard on the edge, and then polyethylene it. But you know, I remember when I was first starting out, when I was married at age 18, you know, I thought I could save the world, and whatever happens, love will overcome. And I would do projects like this, trunks and dressers, chairs, tables. And there's no shame in starting off with something meager until you make money and buy your $300 table or your ash table. It's a fun pastime to do. Although, I sometimes wonder, when it comes to love overcomes all, when you're married at a young age, I would have been better off joining the Peace Corps and helping people over in Africa or those Far East countries and get eaten by a lion, which is not a nice thing, but I often think of that instead of being married at a young age. I like to have a little sense of humor. So let this dry, spray it, polyurethane, and you'll have a nice table and ye old-fashioned chairs. These are called ice cream parlor chairs. Back in the day, they had always wrought iron, and they would serve them at the ice cream parlors. That's what you would sit on. So now I'm taking my satin paint and primer. You can get just a regular can of paint by Rust-Oleum, and I sprayed the edges. You want to paper it off, and then if you have any on the glass, you can always remove that later, but you want to get it really good, a couple of coats. And the reason why I got satin is because I don't want a high gloss, because the clear coat I use is going to have a shiny surface anyway. If you have any drips, you can wipe that off. But I did remove all the rust. That's the important part. You want to have a tarp underneath or some kind of plastic protector. I find when you get too close to the project, that's when you get too much wetness. And that's when you get the drips. So you want to keep a proper distance away, as the can says. I will have some variegated layers because this was a rusty old table. But I did get rid of the rust. Here there's a scale. I could have filled it in, as I said, with Bondex, but I'm going to let it dry now. So it's a sunny day. I have some footnotes here. Number 1, you want to remove the rust. Number 2, wipe off the debris after. And by that I mean you want to sand it or use a rust remover or a pumice stone and wipe off the debris after. Then you're going to prime paint it. Let it dry. And then you're going to use regular Rust-Oleum spray paint or use a rust-proof paint. If you want to paint it with a brush, I suggest spraying. Then you want to clear coat it. After you let your paint dry, you're going to clear coat it. They have so many clear coats, top coats, clear coats, polyethylene. I'm using what I had in my car, which is a perfect match. It says protective clear coat finish because I had to paint my car. And this is good for cars and outdoor happenings. And I got this at the AutoZone place, but you get whatever clear coat you like and just spray it all the way around to protect that finish. So this is the finished table. Has the primer, the paint, the clear coat. It came out of the garbage on the curb somewhere. The legs are like a minty sage green, and the flowers are blue. And I'm going to put a flower plant in here in the middle, and this will make a nice little breakfast satay place. And I'm finally going to finish my coffee. I've been working on this since 2. This is my morning mushroom coffee, which is healthier, half the caffeine. And I hope you enjoyed watching beginning to end how to redo an old table. I just love the glass. It's got like a nice cubey mosaic tempered glass to it. So if you see something on the side of the road and you think, what can I use it for? You can. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.